Guys, John Lee here. I'm in the middle of a series with gsvc. My family has just gone to bed, so I'm putting up the stream. We've already played 14 matches. It's been very competitive. Certainly more so in the first half. I've put together a few wins in a row at the back, but I'm feeling that every win has been very hard earned. This is not an easy opponent. Strong in the opening, strong in the middle game, strong with his finishes. In fact, I'm surprised he's not higher rated up the leaderboard. So if he's got a core weakness, I don't think I've figured it out just yet. This is a very strong player in my opinion, and one of the competitors in the Crazyhouse World Championship, so certainly good luck to him in that. Okay, so we're playing just 2 minutes and 0 increment. Flourish, welcome to the stream. You're in very early. Flourish is one of my moderators now, so... Oh, I've left this one hanging. You can pick up 3 pawns here. Yeah. Okay, we'll take this. Now the clock is really critical. It's basically deciding a number of the games because we're both putting each other under such immense pressure that an extra 5 or 10 seconds at the end is really going to make the difference. Okay, what do I want to do here? I've got to play an ugly move like g6, I think. I can't allow him to get tempo with bishop at g5. I can't let him start controlling the play. Okay, this just covers some dark squares. Now I've got these dark square weaknesses. Yeah, I don't really feel like I can take that. Okay, gotta get creative here. Right, we're gonna get towards the 30-second mark soon. Ooh, that's a bad blunder. That I wouldn't have played f6 had I seen that. He's gonna come for me now. Okay. This should be a mate here. No, that's just a poor move. f6. How have I not been mated yet? Yeah, bishop f6 will take care of things. Alright, got a bit distracted with setting up the stream there. Okay. Okay, Sandra Pedro 1, thanks for the comment. SWAL19, Antic ZH, Ron 2, thanks for all your comments. Okay, I got to look out here. If I leave that undefended too long, it's not gonna be a good thing. Let's play the check. I want to make him expend at least one pawn. Alright, I'll come back to defend this one. But that takes the c6 square away from the knight and then gives him one less pawn in hand. So he's expended another one here. I think he wants to play something like bishop d5. So I'm going to have to concede a pawn, but yeah, I'll have some compensation, I expect. Yeah, he's not gone for it. Now if he takes here though, yeah, he had a little more to play for, because then the queen would be hitting these two. If he'd played bishop e4, I may have even just played here. Well, no, I didn't have to do that. That's okay. I could have still recaptured the bishop. Anyway, I'm talking about a line that doesn't matter. Let's play the game. Yeah, we'll go solid. I've got this c7 hole now. I can just back this bishop up. It's good to cover both f4 and h4. They're good squares for a knight to come in on. Disrupt the very safe king side otherwise. Knight at c7, a threat here while defending. Okay, giving up the bishop. Alright. Well, no, he's giving up the queen. Yeah, that can't be right. He just blundered a little bit there. Okay. Let's try to play well. Let's play some good Crazyhouse. Good pace, good play. We've gone down this line a few times, and this has been one of my common lines in recent weeks, possibly even recent months. This h6 just avoids a lot of theoretical problems. Okay, bishop e6. Yeah, that looks natural. Alright. So we're both playing slow here. And by slow I mean strategically slow. Alright, I'll take this. I was thinking of playing b5. Okay, we'll play pawn at g3 first. Now this just to get something here. I think taking with a rook is correct here. No. Alright, so I sacked a piece for a pawn, but his knight doesn't have a square to go to. He could play bishop at d5, he might hit my knight, but that can come to e7. Okay, we'll take this one first. So, balanced material, but I've in some way disrupted his king side. So, yeah, here's a question where white's basically trying to capture things, and black's trying to... I mean, white has to prove that black is overextended here, and black's trying to prove the opposite, obviously. Okay, so time's ticking. I don't really have a good continuation. Maybe we'll throw the knight on instead. Bishop at e2. I'm just trying to get this pawn here to try to help consolidate. Let me build a chain. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to lose on time if I keep at this rate. I've got a lot going on dark squares, but I'm so far from getting anything happening on light squares. Like bishop e1 is just annoying here as well. Okay, coming low on time. Okay, gotta make it happen. Trying for some sharp tricks here. Let's get a bit of time. Okay. Oh gosh. Short on time, damn. And that's what I was talking about. Those seconds at the end matter. And I didn't clutch the win at the end there. Maybe one or two pre-moves I had to actually hold just for a split second, but it's just that close. And I feel like I'm burning a little bit of time with the commentary relative to the way we were playing before I started streaming. So, okay, he's avoiding using his pawns this time. Okay, well, no, he's got queen b4. Okay, well, we'll just develop. You can play bishop f5, pawn at f5. Question, what time is it in Australia? It's now 1:07 a.m. On the weekend. Alright, we'll concede a piece, but we've got rook e1 coming. Okay, he's willing to concede the queen for the piece and the rook. Let's be aggressive. If this, I'm instinctively feeling pawn at f7 is good here. Alright, in this case I'll take this. Knight g5, queen f7 just looks too strong. I'm just playing this without much thought. King e7, queen at e8, and so yeah. Alright, do I want to play knight e4 first? Let's try to finish this accurately. Or can I seal him off with bishop e3? Alright, I think it's knight e4. I don't want to allow his king all this space. So we'll cut off that square. Now if the king goes to d5, I've got queen d7 acquiring material. in this case. Maybe queen f4 was better actually. That's alright. I'm just trying to net the king. Should bring this piece into the attack. Yeah. So there's mate to follow there soon enough. Alright, d4. Okay, it'll be last two with gsvc, but we'll find some more opponents to make material for this stream. Okay, both very solid here, pretty much symmetrical. Okay. Whoa, really overshot there. Knight d3, knight a2. Okay, this is on, but it's not really worth much. Okay, let's give it a go. So sacking a piece for a pawn here. Just being a little bit speculative, looking for some activity. I expect strong defense from my opponent. I think he can take this, but there's a few tricks. Sharp. Okay, so knight at f3 is my trick here, but he doesn't have to take this rook. Okay. Put this on. His king's still very safe. Pawn at e7 is his threat. Okay, I need some material. I need to hit with something like pawn at e2. I'm going to concede some material to try to get in. Just checking his defenses. Yeah, the two knights are good for him. Alright, this is pretty hopeless. Seven seconds. Oh, he's got me. Well played. Against knight at f6, I could have played king h8 to defend. So g takes f6 wasn't good there, but he had knight at h6 anyway. He went the wrong way at the end. Okay. Okay, I'm out of book, so gotta figure out what to do with this queen that's in the open here. Bishop e6 is kind of natural, so seeing if I can at least threaten c7, but I don't think it's worthwhile capturing it. Something like pawn at d2 just looks very risky. Probably better just to play knight f3. Now queen at b4 is also something. Maybe we'll just cover off the checks for a moment. Queen at b4, hitting this could undermine white's position pretty quickly. Okay. Capture this way. Queen at b2, okay. Can I take this guy? Or am I going to run into some problems? Maybe I need bishop e2 here. I think d1 is... There's some tricks. If bishop c7, then there'd be queen takes, rook at d1, queen takes, rook takes, king here, queen at c1. Just looked really dangerous. He's still got pawn at b2 here. This doesn't look much better, does it? Giving up my queen. Then he gets b1 in. Oh, he's just going to go straight for it. That's also a good move. I need to disrupt. I'd love to castle here, but I'm too far behind on development. So he's getting to play the moves he wants to play. I'm just talking here and not watching the clock anymore. Alright, 24 seconds. Gotta shut up and play. It's getting time critical. He's just gone for safety. No, I'm down on time. Yeah, I am gsvc in good form there. Very good form. Okay, gotta find a new opponent. So I took that 12 to 8 overall. Opperwesen is on, but Penguin's on too. What's he up to? He's playing some... Wow. Ultra Bullet. Alright, I don't know if he wants to play, but I'll I'll give him a match request. Last time we played some 1 minute. I don't know if he'll join. We'll let that match request sit there. He might just be happier playing. It could take on Upper Wesen, but we do see a lot of Upper Wesen, so I'll see if there's any other opponents that might want to join in. So we've got a number of players. Krosky. Now Krosky, great proponent of Crazyhouse. Haven't seen much of him recently. Krosky, we could play. I don't know what time control Krosky likes. We'll offer 1-0, but he might come back with something else. Meanwhile, Penguin's still going with quarter of a minute. Oh man, he's amazing how fast he can play. Mugwort. Now Mugwort would be happy to play 3+2. I'll see if he wants to throw patties. That's just a term we have. We throw patties at each other. Krosky likes 2-0, hey? Alright. Someone's asking me to adopt Penguin. I don't think that's so easy. PKNM, he might play 1-0. We've got Mugwort. Alright, we'll cancel the others. Okay, I'm just going to change the title as well. Now I should see if I can change it somewhere here. Dashboard. I end up having to log on rather than being able to just change my title in Streamlabs. There must be a way to do it. Sorry, it just kind of freeze here. I'm just looking for, what is this? Restart stream labels session. Alright, I'm gonna try something. If this resets, my apologies, but I'll just give this button a go. No stream. No, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Sorry, guys. Maybe. Give me a moment. Alright, I'm gonna try something here. Please, viewers, let me know if this changes. Alright, I've just tried changing the title for our account. Okay, it should show up with Mugwort. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll change it via other means. Okay, Mugwort, good friend of mine, has been playing a bit more Crazyhouse recently. I'll change it via other means. And Yeah, I like his approach towards Bughouse and Crazyhouse. It's a balanced approach. Um, Attack, defense, opening knowledge. Got a good mix of everything. He's caused me problems in this line. I think there's some element of study or knowing what's going on here. Okay. Just bear with me. I'm gonna go change this title properly. While I think about what to do against bishop e3, I think knight takes b3 probably makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Okay, should be changed now. There we go. Okay. Now, last time I played into this, I think I forgot there was an open A file, so this time I am going to pay attention to that. Now he's got a knight and a rook in hand. I don't want to castle into the storm here. I'm going to place a rook on g4, give some defense. It's not really attacking much at the moment. I don't have the pieces to back that up. Okay, I'm out of book. I'm hoping my opponent is also out of book, but he may not be. Let's see where we go from here. This is my trouble. Alright, this looks really passive, but I just have to give a bit more cover to these squares. Material completely balanced, but white I feel is probably a little bit more imposing here. All of these pieces are placed nicely. Black is on the back foot, and white's still got a rook in hand. Could try to make something happen here with queen a8 and rook at b8. I think the next move I'm preparing is possibly g6. But I wanted to put this bishop here before going ahead. Okay, here it goes. I just now have enough defense here. So takes, knight at g7, king f7. It's one way of going about things. Okay, wow, 76 viewers. Okay, that's a few more than usual. Thanks for joining, everyone. Taking on my good buddy Mugwort here, and he's playing some really good Crazyhouse recently. I think he's putting some time in to take the game a bit more seriously than he used to, perhaps. Okay. So he's finding a nice angle here. If I play c6, he's got bishop takes b6, and then so what if I move the knight? Gosh, that's starting to look ugly. I'm gonna do it. So white with the advantage here. Chompas 11 now following. Thanks for the follow. I think knight at g7 is coming. And then he's gonna take e6. So that's the what knight d7 does. Queen c4, king f6. Do I need to take this first? Really testing my defense. No, we'll go without the trade. The knight just controls some squares which make it dangerous for the black king. Queen c4 check, king f6, and I'm just barely hanging on to life. So I've got the bishop covering the back. Now I'm threatening to take this. So while I am defending, I'm basically threatening to win material. And if he allows too much, it'll be a problem. I've got to take this one. Where's he going with that? So I've got two pieces on g5. A check could come in there. I've got the bishop covering. Right, so now bishop at e7 will be a problem. That's a nice one. Time. Okay, I'm going to place the knight first. Oh. Nah. I was busted there after takes bishop at e7. So maybe I should have actually got rid of the knight and the bishop. But that was a very nice game from Mugwort there. Queen a4, queen c4, some really creative stuff. Okay. The Rainbow Viking asking, when is the next match against Yasser? That's always a common question. I don't know yet, but we did have one some weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. Okay, what's going on here? I want to try this way. So here, takes, queen f3 possibly. I should probably find a better response here. This can all get very sharp very quickly. I'll recapture the knight. Yeah, Yasser just is running around doing so much stuff these days. Yeah, we both enjoy playing some Crazyhouse, and having a bit of banter and all of that. But he just has so many commitments. I'm pretty time poor as well. So yeah, I should reach out to him again, but yeah, it's not an everyday occurrence for us. Okay, queen takes d4. It's hitting here. I gotta take this. Now, like, there could be some trades here, but I'll have king f1. The bishop will defend e2. I don't have a hole there. So if there's a queen trade, I should be alright. I wouldn't want to recapture the bishop though, because a knight at e4 check and queen at d2, and that just looks bad. So both of us have to be careful here. Like for example, if queen d2 takes, king f1, castles, he could be mated, even though it looks like he's castling. He should be alright because his bishop covers this key square h6, but you got to be careful. Okay, so what he's doing here is he's actually defending with a move like this. He's trying to draw my bishop from e2. Yeah, I've got to decide what I want to do here. Um, hmm. King G1 is a move I'm considering seriously. I think Queen at D1 could be problems though. Could possibly even be mating. Queen at D1, knight here. Checks. Check, check. Yeah, there's too much risk. I'm gonna take this. Okay. So I'm down a little bit of material here. I'm down a piece, but yeah, I've got to try to make some initiative really quickly. Oh, is he got a mate or something? What's this? I have to take this. King G1 goes to knight here. Alright, he's just defending. So I'm going to put some pressure on him by taking, like, a queen's a really good defender. He's just playing for these defensive squares here. Also covers against knight at e5. So I'm putting the queen here. Oh, he's not just defending actually. He's attacking me. I've missed this completely. Black is better here. Now I'm actually kind of regretting I put the queen on because I've just missed this. It'd be better if I block with something else so I have the queen in hand. But it is defending e4 at least. It could be worse. But yeah, when you're missing stuff like queen takes a1, you're asking for trouble. Alright. It's giving me a little bit to work with. I don't believe I have enough, but... Oh, actually, no, queen takes f7 is quite dangerous. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of stumbling into a good position. Now I could take the rook. I'm actually going to go knight at b7. He can go to e7. Yeah, it's good not to allow that move. But now I get rook at d7. So I'm seeing mate here because my knight covers these spots. If king takes, and then yeah, the rook's covering f7 as well. Ah, weird game. So my queen at f3 ended up helping me, but not by design. I just kind of stumbled into a win there. Okay, so I had problems with e4, e5 before. So what are we going to throw at? What are we going to throw at my buddy? Let's go knight c6. Okay, we got piece of sheet, midnight fox Dota. Okay. You want to go to d6 or e7? We'll just go to e7. Let's try to stake a claim on the king's side. We might support this with h5. But yeah, knight at h5 is something that would help white control the position. So this just doesn't just defend this. This is actually covering a potential hole. Knight at h5. Also, sometimes you can't play this because of a hole on g6, but the bishop's not placed on d3. What does this do? Can I just take this? Right, he's going to take this and play knight at g7. Okay. Bishop to f6 or bishop to f8. Let's go to f6, then I get to make a threat at least. Question from guest 19175084. Are there strong players playing Crazyhouse in classical time control? If by classical you mean like 2 hours per player up to 40 moves and then an hour each or something like that, no, I don't think so. It's generally played at blitz time controls on online servers. Okay, I'm going to be gutsy and take this. I'm trying to cover g7 with either a bishop or a queen that's on f6. So I'm expecting here a capture. Takes, 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 bishop at e5, and then I'll take with e5, takes, takes. I'll have a queen on e5, and you'll have 2 knights in hand. Oh, we could take this with the knight, but then bishop at g7. Yeah, I'll take it with the queen. I do have some holes here where white either takes advantage of them quickly, or I'm starting to get away with one extra pawn. And then I get to consolidate with pawn at g7. So that's the challenge I'm putting to white here. But yeah, I'm seeing takes, takes, bishop at e5, takes, takes, takes. And he has only 2 knights in hand. He could play knight d3, but then I get queen g7. Like, I'm starting to escape the attacking moves. I've gone into g takes h6, thinking maybe I can get away with that one pawn, but we'll see if I've missed something that Mugwort can see. Okay, not unexpected. Okay, also not unexpected. Now, maybe it's queen d5, but one must take some care in playing that move. Okay, that's the big move. Alright. Now I don't have to take that. If takes knight at f6, and then he wants to play pawn at e7, but I could sneak in here. Just looks dangerous. I should probably just play bishop at f6 or bishop at d6. I think that's more appropriate. I just won't relinquish these squares f6, g7. So white got a pawn back, but I took 2 pawns in the process before, so I'm still a pawn up. And of course I'm threatening mate in 1, so bishop at d6 just stops other moves, whereas if you play bishop at f6 you might get a move like knight at e4. Yeah, this just says, well, you can trade queens, or you've got to deal with a threat on h2 with something like pawn at f4. But then I could also take this, because after knight at f6 my bishop's covering e7. Ooh, does this work? I want to play knight at e2, but knight takes f4, takes, bishop. No, I'll go pawn at e2. Just a bit more dangerous, this threat. Being very precise here. Knight at e2 ran into king h1, takes. Okay, now he can take that. but then I'm putting him on the back foot at least. Alright, he's not allowing it just yet. Okay, finding a nice maneuver there. I'll put a bishop on. Maybe I can relieve my knight of its defensive duties. He's winning the material back. That's unfortunate for me. Okay, I'll defend. But he's short on time. We have to defend this bishop. I can't let two pawns land here. Alright, now knight at d4 is on its way. Okay, like bishop at f3 instinctively. Like I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to keep the pressure on. Right, he can take the queen, but do I have anything direct? Knight at h3 nearly works. We'll just take this one. Queen swap there, but knight at h3 now a mate threat because I have the queen in hand. This is just going to add pressure on g2. He's in trouble here. And he doesn't have any queen checks to relieve the pressure. Ooh. Tight battle there in the middle game. I think I made some inaccuracies and he was winning the pawns back, but then he ran short on time. Okay, what is this stuff? Maybe I should take this. I think if I'm not taking on black here, then what am I doing if I'm not taking black on? So if bishop b5, I get issues. Maybe it's takes first and bishop d2, or even pawn at d2. Yeah, I'll even go so far to play pawn at d2. So I've got an extra pawn. Not a good move for the reason that it stops the bishop, but it's a deterrent from any trades happening here. Sometimes as well, if you play bishop d2, you have to deal with pawn at a3, and then black undermines this defender of the knight. So this is just really saying, well, I got an ugly pawn here, but it's an extra one anyway, and black doesn't have anything immediate on this side. So black castles, and I do want to get d3 played, but yeah, black's got compensation here. Alright, let's grab this guy. I'm out of book. Trying to play creatively now. Alright, let's just stop any checks coming in. And c3. They're kicking this bishop. Then I may be able to play d3 at some stage. Now he might look for something like bishop f5 here, but I'd probably just play d3. Okay, so he is trying to take advantage of the weak light squares. So that's the whole purpose of c3, to be able to play d3 and still keep some material in hand. Could have played pawn at c3 and d3, but then I feel like if I have an extra pawn, I want to keep one in hand, and I'll wear a little bit of risk. He could really open up the position with like knight g2 here. Alright, but he's chosen pawn at h3 instead. Also a good move, but alright, we'll we'll block off the file now. Maybe knight g2 takes, queen takes g2. I might have to play king d2. Yeah, I don't know about this c3 idea. I think black's getting plenty of play. But after pawn at e4, it kind of locks down two key attacking pieces. And now, you know, my knight and bishop defend adequately. Okay. Or can I take this one now? I nearly feel like I have no choice. I have to battle on the king side. Sure, this bishop is hanging, but if black captures this... Knight g2... I think the king goes here. Start thinking about running away from the black pieces on the king side. The bishop d6, I can play rook g1 possibly. But then he just takes this. That's not really helping. What does this do? He's going over f2. Okay. Alright, well, I've got to capture some material, right? Unless I hit his queen, but I'd prefer to go this way. Alright. If we concede the rook, does that hurt us much? You don't want to put your queen on e2, then pawn at f4 becomes a problem. Knight at f3, takes. Still get to run. Alright, let's play with a little bit of counter. I'm looking at takes. Knight at g4 check, king d2. Yeah. And we run the king this way. But you know, I also got to make some threats myself. So this queen on g5 is not just a good attacker; it's also a good defender. So you know, it opens up some threats here. Now queen at f2 is picking up material. I think that's sensible, but I could also pick this one up. Okay, he's gone this way, so I can't take it because of queen at f2 mate. His knight's covering his defenses. That's a nice move. So rook e1 seems like it's in order. Pawn f2, I can capture it. Queen at e3, king here. The bishop's attacking the queen. Okay, so he's going for a different spot. The queen at e3 and then takes. I should probably stop something landing on e3. Let's go knight at f5. Also sneaking in a knight at h6 threat, which could possibly be mate, but critically defending against queen at e3. Okay, let's play this. Now he can't take this, so he's got to take with the knight. But then I get another knight in hand to attack with. Now I don't have a clear mate in mind just yet. Okay, so he can run. What if I take d3 at some stage? Can I get away with that? Let's play here first. Take d3 now. I don't figure I have enough mate, but I need this to open up. Now I'm trying to run this way. Find refuge any way I can. And leaving the knight here so it's covering the g4 square rather than playing knight h5. So now I get some play. Okay, it's not easy to wrap up, is it? Well, let's not take too long. Okay, got some material, but no clear finish in sight. Maybe pawn at a6. Okay, I have to go for this. Okay. I've got mate here. But very, very sharp game. I've had to kind of use different options for king safety. You know, I tried to counter-attack with knight at h6, found out I didn't have enough material and had to play king takes d3 and bank on the defenses working. So this is some good crazy house here. This is why we play the game. This is what we love. Just pushing each other around, testing ourselves. Okay, we'll go down this line again. And white played pawn at h6. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to stand by my guns. Pawn at h6, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to go for this bishop f6 stuff again. Okay. I think he's deviated from the previous game we had in this line. So I've thrown a few pawns forward here. And now the idea is to just kind of hold the center, hold the tactics. And if we can do that, then we'll have some breathing room. So here we go. So I've been able to hold him off just for now. Right, so strategically what happens next here? I'm looking at like takes here and knight at f5, but then he gets d5. I don't know if allowing d5 is a good thing. So yeah, I want to consolidate here. Or I can just play a blunt pawn at h3 and keep hacking on the king side. That's not unreasonable. Let's believe that we can hold this center. Okay, knight e4. Okay, now I'd like a knight for h3, so knight f6 is a possibility. But why not? Yeah, let's go for it. This is not like your usual kind of move in Crazyhouse. You want to keep a little bit. Yeah, but I'm trying to be resourceful. If I play knight f6, he gets to play knight g5, and then nothing's happening. But here, I might be able to take here and play knight at h3, take the bishop. He has the queen, he gets queen at g6, and that threatens too much. But I mean, if knight g5, I've also got knight takes here. And then, yeah, that looks fine for black. But he's got to find a different square for his knight. So that's the point of f5. It makes it hard for him to play knight g5. So knight could go to g3, hang around on the king side. But then I might start thinking about taking here. Yeah, so, okay, he's going with the bishop. If takes, I'm not at the point where I can mate yet, but Two pieces for the queen and a lot of holes in my position back at home. But he's not giving me much choice, because if I don't do that, like, he'll take and play knight at f6. So on principle, I'm going to capture here. Now I either recapture with the knight or the king. I don't really need to play knight at h3 yet. If I take with the king, there's queen at g5, but there's also takes, knight at f7. If I have two bishops in hand, let's actually work it out. Takes, knight at f7, king e7, knight takes. I have two bishops in hand. Knight at h3, bishop g2, takes. I have a knight and bishop in hand. Do I have enough for mate? Bishop at f3. Yeah, king here, knight at f5. If I go here, queen at g5 is covered by bishop at f6. Alright. Let's go to Sharptown. Let's take on d8. And taking on d8 also gives me the benefit of leaving this knight in an aggressive position, where knight takes d4 is useful to grab a pawn, but also it supports knight at e2 check. So yeah, but White's got to be careful of knight at h3 and bishop g2, but I haven't put the knight on straight away. Maybe I should. Yeah, I just feel like I don't have to commit to it yet. That's still a dangerous threat. Like, he can play h3, but then I'm making him defend for a move, and then I might get this in. I don't mind that. But yeah, if you were going to try something like knight f4, you'd want to play knight at h3 first, because knight at f4 will run into queen at g5 possibly. Then bishop at f6 here, knight at h3 would win the queen. Oh, he's got to move. He's got 10 seconds left. Okay, pawn at f7. Wow. Not one of the moves I was considering. Maybe I will play knight f4, since I've just been discussing it. Or I could play knight here. Knight takes d4, also good. Alright. I've gone with this one because there's an extra pawn in hand. Okay, so he has played h3 to relieve that pressure. I'm going to put a bishop on e5 to renew some threats. Pawn at h2 is a serious threat here. Gonna move. Alright, we'll go with king d7. Okay, we've got the diagonal in hand. Yep, hard to defend. So yeah, I threw everything at his king on the king side there, and it's a bit like poker sometimes, you know. Once you're all in, you've got to just push the whole thing in and commit. So actually, Mugwort and I have a term with which we say, you know, he went all in with bishop g5 or something like that, meaning that once you go there, that's a point of no return. Okay, so here's a line where black gets this. You sack a pawn here, but disrupting white's structure and denying the right to castle. Queen at a4 isn't much because of queen at c6, and then bishop b5 runs into knight c3. I'm just going to cover both pawns. And importantly here, don't defend with queen at e3, because then you run into tricks like knight at g4, where the knight hits here. And if you take e4, then knight takes f2, and then you lose your queen that way. So by putting the queen on e1, if the black black now plays knight at g4, I can at least play something like knight at h3, and my queen isn't getting hit on e3. So that's just a common motif to be aware of when you're placing pieces to defend. Sometimes it's worthwhile putting them on a backward square where they're not getting hit. So here, yeah, I got to decide if I want to keep this pawn in hand or play like pawn at d3. I'm thinking of bishop d3, but I've got to seriously consider any consequences of capture here. Yeah, it's... Right, I'll play the bishop to d3. There is some benefit in the rook defending as well. You could have some line where like takes, pawn at b4, queen b3, knight at c3 check, and you might want to move the king up so the rook covers here. Okay, so threatening here. Pawn at d2, pawn at b2. Pawn at b2 runs into pawn at a3. Takes is not bad there. Right. Pawn at b2 it is. I don't want to allow black to play pawn at b2 in one move. And yes, good point. Flourish saying it's also a bit like poker in that you have to play the man, as I always say. So yes, you are not always playing the position. There's a lot to consider in this game. Sometimes you go against the style of your opponent. So just to confirm, I was out of book here already when queen takes d1 and king takes d1 was played. Nice antic. Yeah, I've set up the board wrong. I like that. King on d1. I think I remember being young, seeing an over the board tournament where the players actually played about 4 or 5 moves before they realized the king and queen was the wrong way around. Someone went to castle or do something and said, "Hey, that doesn't make sense. Where's my king? I normally have a king there when I'm in this line." Okay, so pawn at b2 here. Right, we're at this one. Conceding a rook and also allowing promotion of a queen, but bishop at b5 check is the one I'm looking for by capturing this bishop here. So yeah, if d6, yeah, every pawn counts here because he wants to take this and then basically put another pawn on here and put pressure here. So if I can play bishop at b5 and also get him to, well, if I can get him to use a pawn on c6, that'd be better. Then he doesn't have a pawn in hand. But if he plays c6, then I'm hoping that knight at c7 or there'll be knight at f6 or something sharp. So I'm not seeing all the lines here, but I see knight takes c3 as the biggest threat to my position. So I have conceded some material. So he can take queen at a1. Oh, okay. He's found his own fork here. Alright. What to do about that? Do I have any tricks here? He's also threatening this guy. That's a nice move. So important to remember, that's a real queen, that's a counterfeit queen. If you take this one on a1, you only get a pawn back. If you take the one on f4, you get a queen back. Um, okay, we'll take this guy first. Now I'm not playing pawn at e3 because then he just gets to take this and he gets all the initiative. Yeah, I want to preserve some kind of threats, so e6 is where I might want to be. If I'm not mated somehow here already, that is certainly a possibility. Okay, he's giving me a move. We'll go. Oh, rook d3. That's your idea. I missed that. I can't capture it because bishop at c2 will be too dangerous. Alright, he's given up the counterfeit queen. He's going to throw everything in. Okay. Ooh, bishop at d3 is not looking good. Should I take it with the king? He's testing my defense now. Right, I'm going to take with the king. I didn't like here. That didn't look good. I'm just defending instinctively here. Get my king on a white square. You can't get checks easily. Alright, now my attack plays. Okay, pawn would mate. Maybe I have something else. Try this. Double check. I'm running low on time. Gotta make sure I don't get mated. Okay, let's throw some more pieces on. Knight d3 check will be a discovery if he ever runs to the e file. He's still got no checks on my king that are deadly. Right, I've got mate now. Oh boy, we have got some sharp, fiery matches. So I missed rook takes d3, but I held on with some defense and in time scramble pulled the win again. So up 5-1 here, but I'm having to pull out all stops against Mugwort. Flourish Z he says, cannot believe you survived that. Incredible. What's the guy got to do? I mean, I thought people said that I tend to have a reputation of being a defensive player in Crazyhouse, and that my defense is not easy to crack. But it seems that every time this happens, like, oh, incredible! I can't believe you did that. Surely it's got to become believable at some point. Sahil Shah 13 says, you are a crazy man. Yeah. I'll take that one as a compliment, I hope. Okay, f3, that's new. So he's not going for this pawn at h6 idea anymore. He's going to contest my claim to light squares. So we're going to have a strategic think here again. Okay. So yeah, could do f5. That's a bit nuts. I don't think that's appropriate in this situation. Yeah, not easy. Maybe knight f6. Let's go here. I give support to this, but then I also open up opportunity to attack. So very different structure to the previous games where pawn at h6 has been played, and there's been some very sharp stuff. Yeah, this is good Crazyhouse here tonight. These first 6 matches with Mugwort have been very strongly contested games. Okay, he's still got a pawn in hand. It just developed naturally. But I have to do something, so... Oh, let's go gutsy. Like, usually you don't want to open this line up and opening up a queen swap, but I'm just gonna go sharp here. Yeah. I've put this pawn forward, and I'm just gonna go all in. I'm just gonna say, well, I can't just castle and wait for him to play pawn at g5 or pawn at h6. I've got to try to be active, so we're getting the pieces out. Now, if takes, because he's played f3, bishop at c5, then pins the queen to the king. Alright, Antic ZH, yes, I like this slightly less humble version of John. I do this shit all the time. What's the big deal? I'm just messing with you guys. Okay, I like how this has been improved. So I've got some new followers here. Reconor22, Fettel1, This Unfolds, and Chelsea Kings. Thanks for following. Appreciate the support. Time here, Fettel1, time here is 2:15 AM. It's late. Alright, I like how my kingside's progressed here. So, I feel like I have a little bit of an edge. I feel my pieces are slightly better positioned than white's. But I need to be mindful of the clock. Yeah, e4. I'm like having to be very resourceful. I haven't been able to place a piece for ages, so we've played moves like e5, e4, knight d4, knight f5. Like, it's all very chess-like maneuvers, not like the Crazyhouse we normally see, where you trade something and then you just throw it where you want it. This is turning out to be strategically very interesting. Okay, he's thrown something at me though. At this point, what's important? Is taking really benefiting me or not? I'm burning tons of clock here. Alright. E3. I'm gonna take him on. So I see this. D6 check. Pawn at E6. He takes my bishop. That's what's expected. Now I could take his bishop, but I'm gonna leave it a move, I think. So I just figure I'm not getting in on light squares. He's got so much, and it's actually helping him to mobilize his knight. So I've just switched it up a bit and gone for the dark squares instead. And in the meantime, I've let him disrupt my king a little, but let's hope this comes out in my favor. So I get a bit of an attack here. Got to decide what I want to capture. Probably this bishop. Got bishop at g6. Yeah. That's the one that's causing me some grief. Bishop at g6, I just back off. I can play bishop at b6 myself, just to give coverage on c7, so let's do that. I've got two bishops in hand. He's got a knight, so yeah, I want to fix up that hole. So a little bit of defense here. Okay. What does that do? I'm thinking of running my king here. I can't put my king on f8 because of knight g6. So again, you know, it looks a bit dicey, and yeah, you can call me a madman. but I gotta try something. So here, yeah, rook takes f6 could be quite damaging, because knight at g8 is the one that follows. So let's see if I can do anything about that. I may not survive this one, guys, but I'm going to try to attack with my king on g5. Oh, he's not allowing it. Okay, we're going down a different path. He's gone for a bit of safety. I was gonna like try what felt like a futile attempt at an attack. I keep having only 1 or 2 seconds on the clock. I've got to move. Oh boy, the clock just keeps running down. Gotta keep a cool head. Keep moving forward. Okay. All very sharp with not much time to consider things. He's alleviated pressure off his own king. Alright, I've alleviated pressure off the clock, but yeah, we're still throwing stuff at each other. Okay. What matters here? He's got knights. I can't really get safe easily. I'm fading. Oh boy. This is hard to defend. No, I'm too open now. I don't have any tricks. He's got me. He's got me. Alright, he's trading the queens. Yeah. This is a clear win for white now. Yeah, very one. Nice win from Mugwort there. Yeah, I mean the residual position left after he played knight takes e7. Maybe I had better ways of defending, but I didn't find them. He's taken one. I'm not invincible, guys. The defense failed there, but I felt I had the upper hand there, and then things went south in the time scramble. Okay, so Mugwort got a good attacking position out of this before, and I'm not sure if... Yeah, me putting the bishop on d3 did help me in the end in that I had another pawn to defend with, but I don't know if maybe I should be playing something like knight at d3 here. Would it make the difference? Let's try knight at d3 this time. If I get this unpinned, it just helps defend b2. Can I play pawn at d2 this time? Pawn at d2, pawn at b2. Takes. Okay, we'll try pawn at d2. So he's got a few pieces on. Well, the knight's not really under attack. It's really this bishop and this knight. So he's kind of all in on this attack. Now, if he plays pawn at b2, I can't take this because that's mate. If I take with the bishop first, then I kind of run into the same trick. I think again I'm going to concede the rook, but this time it's different because I get queen takes e4 as a move. Before I had like the bishop on d3 and I had to take the bishop first and then play bishop at b5. I think black was better here. Here I get to kind of mop up pieces with the queen. If he takes here, I get to take this one with check, and then I get to take this one, and then a knight's covering b2, so he takes this, then it's like, well, he just lost a pawn. So I'm already feeling better about this position relative to the previous try. So I think knight at d3 and pawn at d2, a bit of an improvement. Blunderman 1, good comment. Very disappointing defense by John Lee. I thought he was famous for being a good defense player. I spoke too soon. That's the problem. Flourish, you were right not to believe it before, because I lost the previous game. I think what's important though is that you have to show some mortality. So it's boring otherwise, right? If it's like, oh yeah, this guy he looks dead every game and then he wins, but the mortality is very real, guys. Like I die just as easily as the rest of us, and my flesh is mortal. Okay, I think this one should be captured, and then I think this one should be captured. I can't capture this way because knight takes c3, king e1, queen at d1 is mate, so I must capture this way. Now that was expected, but then now I open up this one. Let's just make sure I'm not mated somehow. King goes to e2, is that any better? Do I have an effective counter here? That's the question. If king e2, then bishop f3, knight at f4. That looks like I'm going to get mated. I've got to run this way. So he can play knight at c2 check, bishop at e2, I just take it. He doesn't have knight d4 because of this. Bishop f3 doesn't go anywhere. So the question is if he can take the rook, because I probably have something like rook at d8 and then knight at b7. Yeah, I don't know if it's enough. Okay, so he's covering with some defense here. Can I take this guy? Yeah, I'm not going to back off if I can just keep stealing material and putting pressure on to find genuine attack threats. I'm going to do it. So I'm not just winning material here. This now opens up queen at c8. And I'm saying if you take here, I'm just going to take this one. I'm going to ask, where's the mate? Okay. Could block with the bishop even. Yep. Block with the bishop. It's just, this could potentially be a threat later. It could open up a check in some lines if that's important. Okay. d8. Here I think. Yeah, we'll throw this one in. And make him use his knight so that there's no knight. Oh, he's not using his knight. Okay. Well then, bishop at c8. Yeah, it's covering the pawn on g2. Like a knight check shouldn't be much here. I've pretty much got a significant material advantage and fended off the attack. Alright, so defended much better that game. Yeah, we've been having good games through this line. Let's keep playing. Okay. Still the same stuff. So we had f3 last time. And then I went knight f6. We'll see what he comes up with this game. Pawn at b5. Okay. So we got another new move. What to do here? Okay, if you go knight b4, can you do anything with it? Yeah, we'll go this way. Okay, Darth Vader 1563-4 and Legion TBY have followed. Thanks for the follows. Okay, so I've been able to find a square for this knight on c6. And it's okay with white having a knight in hand because this pawn on h5 is covering that normal entry square. So just a bit of tempo there. If he wants to take, happy to take this, and then my bishop gets a life. And maybe I've got a knight in hand to place on h4 or f4. Not sure. Okay, knight at e5. So it's not hanging. Mugwort normally sees a few steps ahead, so I'm expecting him to notice that, but looks good to me. I'm going to trust myself here and capture it. He's gunning for f4. Can I take this one? Takes, knight at e2, takes, king h1, takes, and then like knight f7 because he's got the knight in hand. His king's a little bit too safe in that line. Queen takes d4 might be a little bit too greedy. Maybe it should just be knight at e4, and then if queen f4 we just play pawn at f6. And then we fight for every pawn. Alright, knight at e4. It takes, pawn at f5, but then knight at e2 check. Like, I don't think sacking a knight's gonna help. Okay. Now I could take this, he takes. Or I could play e5 straight away, which is very interesting. That opens up bishop takes f7, king f8. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Because if the bishop comes here, it's also opening up the e2 square for the knight. I don't want to take this because of knight takes e5. That's all very sharp stuff here. It's kind of weird. You play e5 with the intention of enticing a sacrifice, which then you don't capture. But the point here is that's on. Yeah, I don't. He's got knight at g6 check, but then I will take this. So yeah, this e5 move is that's not your average move there. That's trying to do something a bit more fancy. Okay, knight at g6 is coming. It's a nice idea. Take this. Not really helping me to get free, is it? Maybe pawn f7. Alright, go that way. I'm paying with more initiative allowed to white than I would have liked. He's got some serious things going on my light squares. But yeah, it's kind of holding for now. Yeah, knight at d7 is not good for white. I just take it. I'd have a safe king, knight at e2 check, king here, hg, and then the knight at g3 mate looks unstoppable. Okay, so he's going for h6. Well, I have to call him, or I take this one. I think this one threatens mate potentially, so it's more effective. We'll go this way. Knight at f5 check, king g8. And knight at e2 a mate threat here. Couldn't even take. He's just gonna go bishop takes g4. That's what he wants. Just cover off the mate threat. Yeah, I can't take this. So I have to step back. So bishop takes g4. I think he'll play. But the king's safe. Let's not get too down about a good position. Oh, he's gonna sack here. Okay. So the checks continue. Right, but I'm up a queen now, pretty much. I'm gonna be resourceful. Use the pawn I have. I want to dislodge that. Get knight at e2 as a threat. You might play pawn at g7. I don't know if it's worthwhile. Maybe it's worthwhile spending a move. Knight at h8 here, or you could take it. Okay. Running f2. If takes, knight at e2 here, queen takes f2. Right. Now he's got two knights, got to make sure it doesn't hurt me. Bishop d5, knight at h8. Won't spend too much longer on it. I think we should just be able to take that one. Okay, bishop at h4, bishop at c5 might alleviate some pressure. No. Ooh, let's be careful. Only have a few seconds left, but I gotta use them to step accurately here. This way, and then we go back to e6. If you go to c8, you get mated with pawn at b7 and knight at a6. Here is, and if I go to d6, knight at b7 mates me. Alright, now we should have it. Do it this way. Nice, sweet, good looking checkmate here. Good defense, good checkmate. Dodged a few bullets there. Good quality matches. Really enjoying this. We're just throwing everything we have at each other. Going down this same line again. Okay. So Flourish says you saw mate in 4 instantly. Yeah, I've been around the block in this game, so that's the job. I mean, I'm putting up this stream, and you know, the channel claims we got to try to do some high level Crazyhouse, so we got to make things exciting. Got to find the mates. Got to find the defenses. Got to do everything we can. Now, he's done the queen this time. That defense that defends e4. So do I need a diagonal piece here? No two games are the same with Mugwort. He's always got his creative juices going. Okay, I see his point. If knight at d3, if here we get the pawn at d2 thing again, but if knight at d3 he can play pawn at c4. Do I hit with knight at f4? I'll just go knight at d3. I can't see everything concrete. Okay, bishop c5. If pawn here takes, knight at c3 is a problem. He's hitting me here. He's tricky, this Mugwort. I think I have to defend with pawn at d2. But then he can play bishop f2. Oh, this is a nasty one. Bishop c5. Good move. At this point in time, I'm kind of wishing I had that diagonal piece here so I could take this. Okay, maybe the pawn has to be put on e3. Or do I put the pawn on d4? Nah. I don't like playing pawn at e3. He's getting a good position. Now I don't have a pawn on b2. Okay, knight at b5. I do have a knight though. So I attack and defend. He's squeezing me here. Queen d7 takes. He's still threatening pawn at b2. Yeah, queen d7's a decent move here because queen on d7 would keep the pin active here, so I can't defend the knight on b5. Alright, he's doing it this way. This is also a good play. He's just trying to make knight c3 happen. Alright. I have to work against one of these two knights. Taking the bishop doesn't really help me because after this, yeah, it's c3 I need to keep good coverage of. So pawn at b2, I'm thinking of taking here, bishop at d7. If he takes the bishop, I take with the king. Taking with the queen just fails to knight takes c3. But I feel like my king's a little bit safer here. Okay, so pawn at b2 is still played. Right, we'll take it. Need to get him off me. Get him off my case. He could take here, takes, rook takes. Might be survivable, but maybe I should take here. Then he gets queen b2. Hard to tell which defense is the right one. Okay. F3 or... Yeah, I'm gonna conserve, even though it makes this one weak. This is good for black. Bishop takes e3 looks like a problem. Maybe I had to put a pawn or a bishop on f3 because he's basically covering d7. That's what this does. Whoa, running out of time and running out of king as well. Yeah, that's a nice finish. Knight at h3 is going to win. Well played. Well played. Yeah, maybe c takes d3 instead of a takes b5 as well. I got outplayed there. Just when I thought I was looking a little safer. He pulled out all stops and got a good attack in. Alright. On for this same line again. I could play pawn at g4 immediately. I don't have to play bishop e7. We'll keep that in mind for next time. Okay, knight e4 this time. Knight b6. I'm just going to try to threaten this and win a pawn here. So bishop b5. So I'm still threatening to win a pawn here. Knight takes d4 maybe? Takes, queen g7 though. Alright, what's he doing? He's looking for this knight at g7 thing again. I'm going to allow it in this case because if he takes the knight at g7, king d7, and his knight's hanging on e4. So he can get knight c5 check first, but then I may even just take that and then play king c8 and try to threaten it, trade a queens. If he takes this now, I can take here. Of course, takes, but then even takes, knight at h3 would be mating white. If takes, queen at h1 mate. If king h1, queen at g1, there's a smothered mate there. So I'm basically saying I'm trying to hold on to this pawn with this whole elaborate thing, and my king is actually getting to quite a safe position. So if queen takes, then rook takes, and this bishop now plays. Alright, Antique ZH. John reading the chat like a dad that's supposed to be disappointed in his kid but is secretly amused and proud. Yeah, that's not too inaccurate. I think that's a good call from Antique ZH. I'm not going to deny when credit is due. I think. I mean, if it's phenomenal to have, we've got 88 viewers at the moment. More so watching Crazyhouse rather than watching me. A top match, even as recent as maybe 3 years ago, would have only got 20 viewers. Now there's tournaments going on. There's always someone playing Crazyhouse at some odd hour. That's fantastic. So Yeah, I am proud to see that the game is picking up, and it's a dream come true for me. So good call, Antic. Um, all right. So he's covering up on G2. I think that was the only response he had. Can go here and pawn at E2. So at this stage, like, I feel that black's pretty secure. Unless queen at D8 actually does something nasty with like bishop at F6. No, he's not doing that. Okay. There's no mate here. Um, yeah, I gotta be careful. All right. Okay. All right. Mugwort's giving me a taste of my own medicine here, saying my defense is gonna hold up. Come and get it. All right. So I'm just gonna strategically put his king on F1, which is one square further away from safety. And we get bishop b5 check in. I want to make him use a pawn or a knight. I want to make him use something. I don't see mate following up from this, but depending on what he uses, like if he puts a pawn on d3, it blocks off the rook, and so that makes it easier for me to defend. If he puts a knight on, oh wow, really? So he's preserving his aggressive pieces to maintain some attack. Okay, well, queen at e2 looks like it's mating here, or queen at f1. Is there some finesse? Do I need like a g3? Yeah, could be g3. Now, yeah, g3 is good. So here's what's important. If queen at e2, he goes here, knight at f1, king e3, queen e3 would lead to mate. But he can go to h4. And if I go queen at f1 here, knight at e2, it's also going to h4. So I'm going to play g3. And what's important is that means he can't take there because of queen at f1. He's got to take with the king. But now I can play knight at f1. If he comes back, I get queen at e2. The difference is, if his king now moves here, I've got queen at g3 mate. If the king goes to f4, I've got queen at g5. And then it would be, well, even then, do I have mate? Was he surviving with king f4? Queen at g5. Not sure. Let's pause for a moment there. Let's actually have a look there. King f4. Because I felt him pause there, so I think he was just going to look at it. I thought queen at g5 was mating, but here, not so easy. King f4, because his knight's covering f5. I thought I just played a brilliancy. Now I'm like trying to find if it's flawed. Yeah, and I'm reluctant to use an engine. I just want to have a look at this. I thought I'd found a brilliancy here with pawn at g3. Maybe I haven't. Yeah, king f4 is maybe surviving. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe a takes b6. Yeah. Damn. Well, he went to a square where I found mate. Okay, lick my chesticle says computers says mate in something like 14. Yeah, I won't be able to see mate in 14 from there, I can assure you. Um, Alright, so yeah, I've heard, yeah, Opperwesen sent me a message that there's another 24-hour event happening. Yeah, that'll be exciting. It's I think it starts Saturday 8 p.m. Wow. Queen at d4. Has he thought this one through? Jeez, if this works. Okay, I have to take that or else I'm surely losing. So knight at c3, takes, king d2, queen at d1. Gotta run in the open. Yeah, alright, I'll take that. I can't go to king e1 because queen at d1's mate. Maybe bishop b4, that's strong here. I think if queen at d1, he might not have enough. Pawn at b4, king b2, queen d4 check, king b1 is surviving. So bishop b4 though. I've got a few knights, but I don't think I got enough to sting him with. And then you got it. Yeah, so against bishop b4, maybe I gotta play like bishop d3. Knight e1 check, knight e4 check, sorry. My brain's thinking about stopping queen at e1 with the rook. Okay, bishop d3, knight e4, king e2, knight c3, king here. Queen at c1. No, that's dangerous. Okay, so let's figure this one. This one's not easy. Queen at e1 is probably the big one. I want to leave the bishop on c1 because it's covering d2. I think bishop d3 is right. I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Knight e4 check. Maybe the king goes to e3. Oh, this is pretty intense. Alright. Like, it's very unnerving to have, like, this discovery with double check and your opponent with a queen in hand. So, what's important here is these two bishops are defending d2 and e2, which are always going to be useful, but then there's some coverage here, which is also valuable. So here queen at f4 is preparing knight e4 check, where this will pretty much mate. So, king e1, knight e4 check, pawn at d2, queen f2, king d1. Am I getting out that way? Because pawn at e3 or queen at e3 looks dangerous. Then he gets the queen. I think it's king e1. Oh no, he's got bishop takes d2. Okay, that mates me. If king e1, knight e4 check, pawn at d2, bishop takes d2. If I take, then queen d2, queen f2. If I move across, knight c3 mates. I come here, then queen f2 first, then knight c3 mates. So this is serious stuff. Pawn at e3, queen f2, pawn e2. Alright, what if queen e3? Do I have to give up the queen here? Knight d5 check, king e2. I don't see better. We'll find out where this goes. What I foresee is here, takes, queen at d2 check. No, then I can take that. You could take, bishop g4. d4, pawn here, queen d2, king f1. Yeah, oh boy. Getting the defense tested here. But yeah, I definitely couldn't play king e1. Knight e4 was going to be mating me there. Well, I did have king d1. Okay. I didn't find any use in playing a check in between here. I'm expecting a capture, and now relying on little bits and pieces of my defense to hold together. So if takes, queen at d2, king f1, the bishop covers e2, rook covers e1. I think he needs to maybe get pawn f3 first, or play bishop g4. Yeah, he's heard me. Right, because then he gets bishop h3 after queen d2. Well, I have to take it. No, oh, you're just doing it that way. Well, that's very clean. Yep, queen at g4. Deadly. Okay, queen at d4 check. I feel like that's like nearly killing this line. Nice from Mugwort there. Very nice. Absolutely smashed me to pieces. Well, we can try something different next time. Okay, here I could play pawn at g4 directly. Or is there some kind of rook e1 trick? Yeah, well, let's have a go at it. Like bishop takes. No, he's just going to settle for that. Okay. I think that's slight improvement because now my bishop has the option of going to b4. Do I want it there though? Doesn't have to be a bishop move. Could even be knight b6. Here. What to do? Alright, let's go. Well, no, if you go bishop b4, then knight e4 is more effective. Why are you overthinking this? Alright, if knight e4, then I'll go knight b6 again. But I feel like this gives me a little bit more of an angle to attack with, having an eye on this knight. Okay, knight e4 played. I'm gonna play knight b6 as I said I would. Bishop e5, bishop d7. He just gets c3. And then the bishop comes back to e7 anyway. I don't know. I think I've overthought this thing, and bishop b4 is probably not much better than bishop e7. Okay. Now bishop g5 has been allowed. Okay. We'll stand our ground. I won't back this one off or threaten to win some material. But we do concede weakness on g6. Excuse me. Bishop e3 is sensible, and then I got to come up with a move. Oh, well, sensible is not the way. Okay, so yeah, I'd better take this. Takes, and then he gets two pawns on the 7th. Finding myself getting attacked again. King f7 is an option. Run into a few checks that aren't pleasant. And also just take this one. I think we'll take this one. He does get this. Oh, knight d3. Okay. So he'll be happy with that. I can put on f7 or g6. g6, he just takes this one. Yeah, I'll put on f7. I feel like that just covers a hole. But yeah, not thrilled with this. White's got a queen here. I did pick up a piece, but this is not really a pawn anymore. It's a queen. I could maybe pick this up. So we still got a game, but spent a lot of time on an opening that didn't really deliver much. Okay, here he comes. Bishop at e5, right. Yeah, this isn't fun at all. Queen d8. No, I'm gonna take this guy. Maybe it's the bishop, maybe it isn't, because that opens up this line. Okay, he's just pulling my material off. Got to try to win some material here. Or maybe I should take with this knight, but he doesn't allow it. Oh, we can take this one. Yeah, that's GG, I think. Oh boy. No, Mugwort on the comeback here. Yeah, I've still got some defenses, but this one is too hard to come back from. I'll try. Even if I win a queen, like I'm so far down on material. Okay, he's got a little bit of time pressure to consider, but yeah, maybe that should have gone to d6, then I can still defend or block things on e8. Okay. Alright. I attack. Alright. Let's put this here. Okay, am I defending here? Yeah, 3 seconds. He's got to move. Okay, we'll try to attack again. Alright, I'll just pinch this off. B7 is now holding. Alright, now threatening knight at h3 or knight at e2 potentially. This has to be addressed. Okay, I don't think that's addressing it though. That looks like a problem. This is mating. What happened there? How does that happen? I was gone for all money. I was gone for all money. Yep. I can't believe what happened in that one. I don't know. Maybe he just had to seal it a bit quicker, and he just ran short on time. Gave me a bit too much to work with. So Midnight Fox Dota says I saw a nice mate for Mugwort, queen at c8 instead of queen takes f7. Yeah, maybe earlier there was something on. Okay, we got a gambit here. I'll accept the gambit. Now this bishop placed on f5 allows me to get this with tempo and hit this at the same time. So we'll go. Antic ZH. Doesn't John know about his reputation as a good defensive player? No. I made one comment that was slightly boastful, and I'm now paying in multitudes from Antic ZH. Lesson learned not to do that again. Let's just be humble. Alright, so white's got a piece for a pawn here. I want a castle, get knight f4 in. Usually when black's playing this gambit, he's looking for activity and some kind of attack. So it's castle, sensible. If he takes this way, I could probably take that way. Okay. I don't want to recapture with the knight because of pawn at f3. He just gets the piece back for the pawn, and I've got holes on the light squares. So this is now 2 pieces sacrificed for 2 pawns by black, and I do have a bit of a dent in my king side, but whoa, okay, so queen takes h2 is his idea. Does that work? I think I can take it and then play knight g3. It's a bit risky. But when has that ever stopped me? Expecting queen takes h2 and then knight g3, and then that's to make room for the king to run to e2, d2. The thing is, if I don't play king takes f3, I'm backing off, and then I'm giving some material back, and I'm really trying to make a point that I'm just going to try to take everything and force black to play here. Because if black plays pawn at e4, the king goes back to g2. Alright. That seems okay, as long as nothing's stopping my king from going to e2. This here. Because on d2, importantly, Like if the pawn goes to e4, then anyway, this knight's covering. It's hard for the knight to check the king when it's on d2. Oh, he plays a different way. Knight at e4. But I can take it and then come back here still. I think I shall do that because I don't want knight c3 to hit me. Or could we be adventurous and even take here? Maybe that's asking for a bit too much. Black can just castle there. Alright, viewers, what do you think? Should I try to play king takes e4 here and survive? Is there a corporate? Oh, I think actually knight at d6 shuts that one down. If I lose that bishop, I think, and then I have to admit I'm worse. Okay, I won't leave the option open. I'll go to e2. If not for knight at d6, I'd probably give it a go, but yeah, that's too much. Sorry, fans. I have to play sensible for a moment. Rook e1. If you can call this sensible, by the way, there's king takes f3 already is risky enough. You could just say I'm going to give some material back, but we're here now. Okay, so he's castled. How do I get safe? Maybe bishop at g3. Maybe not. That could be causing me more problems. I need to undermine this guy. Yeah. Not clear. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go this way. Okay, he's defending. Or maybe bishop a3 is key here, so my king has more room to run after going to d2. Oops, I've left that hanging. Maybe okay still. e3 check, knight takes e3. Rook takes, f takes. What's he doing here? Queen f2. Okay. There's no mate. Boy, this could get sharp. Takes. He's not making it fun here. I'm now regretting not making this c1 square available. I missed that as a critical point, I think. Now knight at e5. Oh, he's going this way. Picks up the queen with check. Right, I've got a little bit of room to run, but this is still tough. Okay. Gotta put things on around my king. Alright, he's still defending and attacking. Alright, I've gotta try to make a hole somewhere. I'm gonna do the same this way and this way. Barely hanging on here. Okay, we got mate. This bishop is a very good defender. Right, now he's got a rook in hand that could change fortunes. Gotta be careful. Yeah, rook at g2. Okay, check should be running out. Wow, okay, 51 move game there. Alright, I'm up 10-4 now. Still very good series. Okay, what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for this same line again. But I won't waste so much time on bishop b4 this time. I'm gonna stick with bishop e7. So I don't normally play this opening myself, so I'm doing a lot more of it today, exploring quite a few more lines with Mugwort. Okay, new move, pawn at e5. But that looks like it just blunders a pawn, because this queen is not defended. So it's 3:21 a.m. for me here, which means it's also 3:21 a.m. for Mugwort. We're gonna see some signs of fatigue at some stage, sooner or later. Now c6. I lose the rook, but is it worth it? Yeah, I'm gonna preserve this pawn in hand. I mean, it means that knight at c7 wins the rook. But I do get the bishop. I think the queen is worthwhile. Still, I want the pawn in hand because it's going to be useful for f3 or h3 most likely. Bishop e2 maybe is sensible. No, he's gonna go this way. Okay. Looking for knight at c7. Okay, I'll preserve this knight. Knight at c7 is okay. I don't mind getting this bishop on f4. Okay, so the queen is now defended. It's looking for g7. A few choices here. It's just, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I'll take this. I can just play rook h7. I'm just one piece up. But this is a big hole now after removing the bishop on b5. So, you know, knight on f4 is looking like it makes sense. He's looking at, yeah, should I even stop it all? Knight at c7. Yeah, we'll put the pawn on. I mean, I'm already piece up with black, so I don't have to allow for the risks like knight at c7. bishop g3. Could put a bishop on c6, attack from distance. No need to rush in with knight at f4. Okay, so he's not going so easily. I don't want to take this, it just allows knight at c7 again. If I take this, then there's complications on my dark squares, so I'm just going to back the bishop off to f8. If he goes back now, then this f6 pawn is something to attack. Knight at g7. I don't want to allow his pawn to become useful on g8, so I'm not going to capture that knight with either piece. Okay, so put the bishop here, we'll defend this, but also attack that. Okay, I can't take this yet because it's check, so knight at e3. That makes sense. We'll try to distract this queen and then take some material. Try to break this this chain of pieces. Okay, queen d3. Okay, it's taken with that way. It's useful to get this check on first. Wow, okay. Looks dangerous. Okay, we'll grab the bishop. Queen b6 check. If he blocks, then bishop at g1, and then I get an attacker from both sides. Maybe knight at d4, but then I can also take this, because then the knight will be pinned to his king, and then he can't open up that diagonal. Don't want to play here because the bishop at f1. Yeah, we'll take this guy. Okay. Could play bishop at g1 still, but I want to leave that bishop there. Let's grab this. Knight at e5, king c7. Okay, now I've got a knight in hand. Defending gallantly here. Alright, we'll take this. The queen is falling, and I should be safe enough over here. If there's any checks. Okay, where's the mate? Should be here. Get the rook with check. Not mate. Okay. Good match. I mean, he blundered with pawn at e5 early and then was fighting a piece down, but I still had a fair bit of middle game to work through there. Alright. For now, I'm just going to avoid this e5 thing till I know better what to do against that, because he absolutely destroyed me with queen at d4, one of those games. Okay, I think at this point it's like 3:30 AM here. I'm gonna call the last two games. I'm gonna need to sleep so we can at least function tomorrow. Alright, bishop at h5. I'll take it. Again, this is on principle. I get to hit d5 and h5 at once. If takes, I'll recapture with check. This knight would be attacking d4, so I'd have to like cover that with bishop at b5 or something like that. But yeah, this gambit of the knight, now popularly, no, I think the popular term for it is the Kroski gambit. Despite this being played, possibly a decade before Kroski came along, but this is very safe for the black king. And then if you're going to play it with white, you just can't be on the back foot with initiative and trading a whole lot of other pieces on the board where you're behind. So if you can get your pieces developed in a decent spot, you have a chance of making that extra piece work out in your favour. So these sort of tempo moves like knight at f4 or knight at e3, where you get to hit a bishop at the same time as hitting this pawn, I think if you get that opportunity, then it's certainly worthwhile. So because I don't have a pawn in hand, I'm trying to make use of this. Again, this is a similar thing. At some stage prevents knight at h4 from doing anything. Bishop at e6 actually worthwhile? I don't think so. I want to do something here. Alright, mate. Let's have a go at this. Knight at e6. I just want to block this file off, and then if something like queen d7, I can play bishop at h3 or bishop at g4. Just support this forward piece. And at some stage, on a good day, you might have some tricks with knight g7. Okay, but he's having none of that. So pawn f7 allows me to pick up the queen with check, or win a rook. Even taking here is not so bad. So he's probably just going to take it. I'm left with a bishop and a queen in hand. I just don't see a good continuation beyond that. Yeah, what alternatives do I have though? We'll go. I can sack bishop at e6 here, but I think I'm giving away too much. So maybe we just have to defend. So I've got what? I've got a queen in exchange for a pawn and a knight. Okay, pawn at f4. Let's aim for bishop at g6. Now he can take this. We need to be accurate here. I think if takes king d1, Rook takes. Bishop at g6. Takes. King goes here. Queen at d7 here. Something at c5. Anyway, I'm just going here on the premise that I have king d1, and I don't lose the queen with check, and that bishop at g6 is dangerous. Oh. Alright, if I take this though, then king d1, knight at b2, king c1. I can play king f1 here, but I'd rather take the bishop if I can. Alright, go for it. It opens up knight at b2 check, but then the king can still run to c1. If knight at d3, you just take it. The queen covers here. Yep, so if takes, important to take this way, not with the bishop. Ooh, is that critical? Maybe. Okay, left that late, didn't I? I haven't put it on the bishop on d2 in case I need the bishop to. In this case, I need the queen to defend b2, which it now doesn't anyway. But okay, I don't know if pawn at b2 is enough for black here. Knight at a4. Bishop at b2 takes. Then my king can run back this way. Yeah, the checks ran dry. Okay, we'll call this last game. I am just, my brain is fried. A lot of defending today, a lot of sharp positions, and going down just to the last few seconds. But hopefully making for some good viewing. Alright, pawn at e4, another new move. Just drop back to b6 again. He has d5 here, that's a difference. It allows the knight to get into e5. No, okay, so bishop e3. Okay, well, I want to push this bishop back. Either ask white to capture it or back off, so that at least this guy's not under attack. Okay, d5. Don't really have a good square for the knight. Can come here, but I think you are losing material and white has a right to capture it. There's knight a5, b3. We'll swing out this way. Okay. If I do this, I'm conceding a lot on the light squares. The d6 is a possibility though. Maybe it is worthwhile capturing it. Alright, we'll get our own knight on f4. Providing a bit of defense here, but also looking at his king side. Always a good position for the knight on f4 or f5. They're always popular choices. But yeah, he has made my structure here look a bit silly, and this knight on a5 is now not doing anything. I feel like the chat's gone very quiet, and it's a bit representative of my mood as well, because I'm about ready to sleep after this game. Feels like the chat is mirroring that feeling. Okay, yeah. So bishop at e4 is a good move. That's just keeping an eye on light squares. So he doesn't have anything in hand. We don't have to do anything immediate. How about rook c8? I don't have anything concrete yet, but maybe one day that'll be useful. Okay, he's looking at this one. Don't really want him to. What do we do with that? We can put a new bishop on, or we can move this one. No, I think we'll put a new one on. Pawn at e6. Alright, thanks for indicating you're still there, guys. Okay, I'll be greedy and take this, only because I have a bishop here. Otherwise he could sack. So, yeah, maybe now I've got to run back here in case we go. Find safety on a7. So here, there's rook c3 and knight at e2. This queen looks trapped, and if white only has pawns and bishops, he can control these squares very well, but once the king gets to f8, there's not going to be many checks. Okay, so he's got a knight in hand. Right. Bishop here. Feels like something's got to give. Gotta get this right though. There's no mate threat immediately. I've got king d7. It's the queen that's under attack. Yeah. Decisive here. Take here. I'll start by taking here. Right, grabbing the queen, eh? Expecting to bring the king across. Then I will better just take this guy. Shouldn't leave myself so low on the clock. Knight f3 or knight d3 is playable here. Another pawn in his hand shouldn't hurt me. Pawn at d7. I've got both c8 and e8 covered. But queen at b8. Oh, no, I've got to be careful here. But if knight f3 we take this way, then this line opens up. I'll be sensible. I'll just take this first. Yeah, I don't have complete safety back at home. There's queen at b8 check, which can cause problems with pawn at c7. Let's work on his back rank. We always seem to be in this time scramble situation. Okay, he's looking for... I've got rook at h2 check, so I've got mate here. Not enough rooks. So blocker, rook at h2, rook at h1. Okay, so I take it 13 to 4. Yeah, overall happy happy with the result, happy with how I've played. Some very tough matches. Mugwort saying you did more throwing than me. Flourish calling for one more game. I have to sleep. I'm really tired. I'm still recovering from a very long 1.5 or 2 weeks of just doing a lot of driving to all four corners of Sydney. Stuff to do with work, stuff to do with my dad not being well in hospital and having to drive my mum around, and then people staying in different places and all the rest of it. So I am going to close the stream there. Thanks everyone for joining. I can see there's been 50 plus viewers just about the whole stream, so that's a great show. I will post this to YouTube, of course, if you didn't catch it, as usual. Next event to look out for, certainly I'll be taking on 12 Teen in the Crazyhouse 960 for some prize money raised by Opperwesen. It'll be $80 for the winner, $40 for the loser. We'll play time control of 3 minutes plus 5 seconds increment for a period of about 3 hours. I'm not sure there's actually a win condition. It's more about getting the games played. That's going to be taking place 27th April, and depending on what time zone, it should be 6 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. US Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. If you're in Australia like me, it's Saturday 28th April at 4 a.m. For the rest of the world, it's Friday 27th April. So that one is approaching fast. That's only 5 or 6 days away. Okay, yeah, so thanks guys. We'll catch you next time. Yeah, I may get another stream in before the 12 Teen one, but looking forward to some Crazyhouse 960. That should be very exciting. Okay, have a good weekend. We'll see you.